No one remembers when the bells were first raised above Ashen Reach. There are no records, no inscriptions that speak of architects or blessing rites. The archives burned long ago, and those who might have remembered were fed to the furnaces beneath the citadel when memory became inconvenient. Only this remains certain. The bells have never been silent. They hang from towers of blackened stone, their iron bodies suspended by chains thicker than a man's torso. Each bell is different in shape and tone. Some are cracked, some warped. Some appear fused with bone and unknown metals. When they ring, the sound does not simply travel through the air. It presses inward, vibrating through teeth, through marrow, through thought itself. The bells do not mark time. They mark survival. You stand beneath them now, one body among tens of thousands. Armor cold and ill-fitting against your skin. It has been worn before. You know this because the interior is etched with names, scratched out, overwritten, layered into illegibility. Those names belong to people who endured longer than most. Rain falls from a sky the color of bruised steel. It is thick, oily, and warm when it touches your face. It seeps into cracked seals, pools at your boots, carries the stink of rust and old blood. You do not look up. No one looks up. Above you, the bells toll again. Not loudly, relentlessly. Ahead stretches the killing ground, a vast plain of ash, trenches, wreckage, and the broken skeletons of cities that once believed themselves permanent. Fires burn without fuel. Smoke coils upward and never disperses, forming vast wounds in the sky. Within that smoke, something moves. You cannot properly describe it. No one ever can. Some say it looks like beasts, others say machines. Others whisper that it looks like faith given flesh and then left to rot. All you know is this. It is coming. A horn sounds from the citadel wall. It is not a call to advance. It is a declaration. Another bastion has fallen. You feel it ripple through the ranks. Not fear. Fear was burned out of you long ago. But recognition. Another line erased. Another lie undone. The priests begin their procession. They walk between you, heavy robes dragging through the filth, iron masks fused to their faces. Their voices murmur through the vox grills, chanting prayers so old that language has collapsed into sound alone. You do not understand the words. Understanding is unnecessary. Belief is mandatory. Censers swing from their hands, leaking thick, choking smoke that smells of incense and decay. You breathe it in. It burns your lungs. It makes your vision blur. This is intentional. Clear sight is dangerous. High above, the guns awaken. The citadel trembles as macro cannons recoil, vomiting shells the size of buildings into the sky. They scream as they travel, a sound like reality tearing itself apart. Some explode in distant firestorms. Others vanish. No explosion. No impact. Just absence. You do not ask where they go. Questions lead to reassignment. The first screams come from the outer trenches. They rise suddenly, cut short, then rise again, changed, twisted into something wet and pleading and wrong. You have heard those screams before. You will hear them again. The Vox unit at your collar crackles to life. There are no words, just static and intent. Forward. You grip your weapon. It feels heavier than it should. Everything feels heavier now. You climb the ladder out of the trench, boots slipping on the slick metal rungs polished smooth by countless hands that climbed it before you. The moment your head crests the edge, the world erupts. Fire, shadow, motion. The enemy crashes into the lines like a tide of broken forms. Too many limbs, armor grown rather than forged, mouths opening where mouths should not be. Their voices do not shout. They whisper. They speak your memories. They tell you things you never said aloud. You fire. The recoil slams into your shoulder. Something bursts apart ahead of you, spilling fluids that hiss when they hit the ash. You reload. Fire again. Around you. Soldiers fall. Some die. Some do not stay dead. Hands drag screaming bodies back into the smoke. Shapes rise where comrades fell, wrong and shuddering. Their armor fused to flesh, their mouths still forming prayers they no longer believe in. You do not scream. You have learned that screaming draws attention. Hours or days pass. Time fractures under the bells. Your weapon runs dry more than once. You reload with shaking hands. At some point, your armor cracks. Warmth spills down your side. You do not check the wound. Pain is information you cannot afford. Eventually, the noise fades. Not into peace, but into waiting. The battlefield lies still. Ash drifts through the air like snow. The dead carpet the ground into shapes too broken to count. Fires burn low, crackling quietly, as though ashamed of themselves. You sink to your knees. Your weapon is empty. Your breath comes shallow and ragged. A shadow falls over you. It stretches long and vast, blotting out the fires, the corpses, the sky. You feel it before you see it. Pressure in your skull, weight in your chest. Something immense stands before you. It smells of rot and incense, of sanctified slaughter, of prayers screamed too loudly for too long. It speaks. It knows your name. You never told anyone your name. In that moment, you understand. This is not a war to be won. It is a mechanism, a ritual. Worlds are fed into it. People are ground down into belief. Hope is harvested, refined, and repurposed into obedience. The bells toll again. Not for the fallen. For you. Because if there is a tomorrow, and there usually is, you will be dragged back into the ranks, rearmed, re-blessed, re-forgotten. You will stand beneath the bells. You will endure. And that will be enough.